afflicted countries, and they weren't allowed to come in. We said, I'm sorry, we want to be politically correct. We want to be nice. I'm sorry. We don't want people that want to hurt our people, that want to hurt our country. I think that's okay. It will include funding for unlimited numbers of unvetted Afghan nationals to be brought to America and given free welfare and government benefits courtesy of you, the people of Iowa, and the American taxpayer. Congratulations. I'm sure you're thrilled about it, as you have to struggle. And only 3% of the people they crammed into those planes, remember they said, oh, the airlift was, oh, it was great. They had no idea who was getting on those planes. We still don't have any idea. Only 3% were qualified to be taken to a place called the United States of America. Isn't that something? 3%. You're going to be hearing from those people over the coming years in a very bad way, right? The Democrat package includes a plan to demolish the U.S. energy industry, which has largely been done in a period of 9 months, starting with a $630 billion down payment on the socialist Green New Deal, which is throwing money out the window at the expense of future generations of Americans. The Green New Deal, conceived and made up in about 15 minutes by some radicals sitting around in a room that know nothing about the environment. Their bill includes giant new taxes and fees on American oil, and especially on American gas production that will kill countless oil and gas jobs, devastating workers in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Texas, Oklahoma, North Dakota, and many, many other states. Gas prices and inflation have already skyrocketed. I saw the other day, inflation's the highest in 24 years. Think of it. But it's going to go up much more. Get ready. The Democrat bill imposes a new energy tax on methane, which is projected to increase your energy costs by hundreds of dollars per year. Percentages that nobody even knows what to say, up 50, 60, 70, and 80% quickly. The bill abolishes the Hyde Amendment, forcing taxpayers to fund the far left's extreme abortion agenda, ripping babies from their mother's womb right up until the moment of birth, and in fact, killing babies even after birth. You saw that in Virginia with the governor of Virginia after birth. In the Republican Party, we believe that every child is a sacred gift from God. The Democrat Socialist bill also includes a $1.3 billion payoff to the fake news industry. These people, but we're giving them money. They don't deserve it. By subsidizing and hiring of reporters at media outlets all across the country, meaning liberal media outlets. Can you imagine, on top of everything else, billions of dollars is being spent to take care of these people that don't report truth. They don't report truth. They're all going out right now. They're going to buy a new car. Nice one, too. Meanwhile, the media says nothing about Biden's handling of COVID. Despite all of the vaccines that we came up with, therapeutics that we came up, and knowledge that we gave, Biden's come up with this horrible period of time. He hasn't done the job because now we have more people that have died of COVID in 2021 with the vaccines, with the therapeutics. More people died in 2021 than in all of 2020. But the media is silent. They don't talk about that. They hate to talk about that. Can you imagine if I were president and had these numbers? And, you know, some people thought, first of all, he didn't get elected. Okay, forget that. But some people said, oh, sir, it was COVID. Incredible. You know, they're allowed to say that about me. They called it illegitimate. They called it everything in the book. It was fine. When I say it, now here's the difference. Hillary conceded. I never conceded. Never. Never conceded. No reason to concede. When you look at the numbers of these swing states, and we're going to go over them real quickly in a little while, but when you hear these numbers of swing states, there was no reason to concede. Should have conceded. They did the honest thing, attack on our country. Even though the numbers are greater, they don't have the death watch in the right-hand corner. Remember on CNN, fake news, which is down 80% in ratings. Remember they had Death Watch. Death Watch. And they'd risk it. We don't have that anymore, but they're losing more people, okay? What's going on? That doesn't sound so good. That's because it's fake news. They are the enemy of the people. The Democrat bill contains billions and billions of dollars for unlawful government training programs inspired by toxic and bigoted critical race theory. It's crammed with so-called equity provisions. Equity, you know what equity means? We're going to take it away from you and give it to other people. I don't think they're going to take it away from too many of you. I have a feeling. I don't think they're going to take it away from you. But it's a code word for illegal government discrimination that they want to bring to everything from education to housing to health care to our military. They're also giving the IRS the power to destroy people, just like they tried to do with the Tea Party, Christian organizations, and just like they've always been trying to do to me. You see that? We fight like hell. We all fight like hell. This bill is a sinister combination of job-killing tax hikes and woke fascism that will destroy our nation. And to think that we had 11 Republicans go along with an extension. Headed up by Mitch McConnell. Can you believe that? Mitch McConnell. 11 Republicans. And you know what it does? It gives the Democrats more time, 2 months, gives them more time to figure it out. They can now have 2 more months to figure out how to screw us, okay? That's what they did. They approved it, and they should be ashamed of themselves. The radical Democrats will lower the final price tag to try to fool the public. They'll come in, oh, we don't want the 5, because it's really 5, it's not 3.5. Also, it's not an infrastructure bill. It's 9% infrastructure. The rest is a Green New Deal garbage that you might as well just throw it out, put it in the waste paper basket. But think of it. Trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, more than anybody's ever even conceived of, most of it for junk programs that will only hurt our country. But the bottom line will always be a socialist transformation of America if they allow this to happen. So when they talk about the debt ceiling, we have a very powerful card there. We don't want to violate that, but that's more important than what they're going to do by passing this thing that's going to kill our nation. All Americans of common sense, Republican, Democrat, and Independent, must stand firm. And you have to really stand strong and firm against Biden, crazy Nancy Pelosi, she's a nut job, and the extreme power grab. And we must declare with one united voice that we cannot allow America to ever become a socialist country. That's what they're doing. And I really think it's a step beyond. I think it's going to be a communist country. We're not letting it happen. But these people, the media, who don't cover anything they do that's wrong, anything they do that's okay, they make it like it's the greatest thing that ever happened. And anything we do that's right, they make it sound bad, evil, and corrupt. They are sick people, and they're really hurting our country. Practically every single Democrat lawmaker in the House and Senate has endorsed this deranged legislation, and that's why every single one of them has to be voted out of office next November. Next November. It's coming up quick. Time flies, right? Time flies. Remember the election? We said, oh, boy, it will never end. It's just that, but listen, in November, we have an election already. I mean, think of it. It's a year from now. We're having an election. So quickly it flies. The 4 years really flew. You know, I did a couple of things. I said, I have two things. Number one is to protect and save our country. And the other thing was to survive against these maniacs. We must send the radical left a message they will never, ever forget. And we must do it by electing record numbers of America First Republicans. And we have a lot of great ones. We have so many great ones. The Democrats' multi-trillion-dollar spending spree is also going to trigger runaway inflation. And last month, we saw yet another dismal jobs report. Came out yesterday. Did you see those numbers? They were a disaster. In fact, even the radical left newscasters, though, I think we're looking at 600,000 or 700,000. What do you think? I think 700,000. I think it's 800,000. How about like really less than 200,000? They're saying like, whoa, this is bad. And 10 minutes later, well, it's not that bad, actually. It's pretty good. These people are so corrupt. The media, look, I don't need to do this, but the media is corrupt. And you know what? When I started, I'm so proud of this. Two things I proved. Number one, the elections are totally corrupt in our country. They have been for a long time, but never like they were this last time. They used COVID in order to cheat and rig. And the other thing is how dishonest the media was, because they were at 96% approval rating before I came along, and now they're like in, what, the 20s. They're actually, I think, lower than Congress. Is that possible? We're going to witness that deadly combination of no growth and inflation, or what is known as stagflation. You remember stagflation from the years of Jimmy Carter? That's very good. Whoa, let me see what you, oh, she's a historian. Jimmy Carter, stagflation, they were not good years. I was in business. I was saying, this isn't good. It was a bad time for our country, but this will be far worse because the numbers are far bigger. Under my administration, we had the exact opposite. We had low inflation, surging growth, and the greatest jobs presidency in the history of our country. And I said that would happen. I keep looking at these big, beautiful screens. Who else is going to give you a big screen like that? By the way, you know, we have great generals, but not the television guys. These guys are major losers. But do you think that General George Patton would have left early out of Afghanistan? Do you think he would have left dead soldiers for no reason whatsoever? And do you think he would have left $85 billion worth of the best equipment anywhere in the world? And you know, Russia and China, they already have samples of our great helicopters. We have the Apache helicopter. We have the best stuff in the world. And they are now re-engineering the equipment. They're de-engineering. They're taking it apart. They're figuring it out. And very soon they'll be building the best stuff for less money. It's a disgrace. What's happened is a disgrace. Think of it. 600,000 of the best machine guns, rifles, and guns made anywhere in the world. And I read the other day, there's tremendous numbers of our equipment right now being sold on the black market. Isn't that nice? No, General George Patton, you know, I saw that movie years ago, and a little while ago, we were at a rally, and it was a great rally, and I said, you know, could you guys ever find that opening to George Patton? Right? That was a great, what a great thing that was. And George C. Scott. George C. Scott. I don't know, did he win the Academy Award? Did the movie? I think so, something like that. They did pretty well, right? But when you, but that was him. In fact, they actually said that wasn't nearly as tough as the real Patton. That was